It's time to practice the anchored bridge, supine decompression, and the crossover stretch. They're very simple, just takes a little bit of practice. For the anchored bridge, you're going to start on your back. Knees are going to be squeezing together. The legs are either going to be straight out ahead of you or slightly bent, like Gail's over here. Both of them are fine. You're going to bend the knees just a little bit more than Bruno has here, and you're going to dorsiflex the ankles. From this position, you're going to press your palms into the ground to expand your chest while you press your hips straight up in the air. As soon as your hips come up off of the ground, I want you to pull the heels towards your butt, just with a little bit of traction. Give me 3 big deep breaths in this position while you hold. You should feel a lot of tension along the entire back of your body. Make sure you're squeezing your knees together constantly. That's the anchored part of the anchored bridge. Just as slowly as you came up, lower your hips right back down. And let's go right into a supine decompression. To get into this exercise, your feet are straight. The legs are straightened. They're still squeezing together, and your toes are pulled back towards you in dorsiflexion. Your hands are going to reach right up over your chest with the fingertips touching. From here, keeping a very strong squeeze at the knees, you're going to reach the arms all the way back behind you until they almost touch the ground. Once you're back there, your goal is to do 3 simple things. 3 times. Breathe directly into your rib cage as big as possible while squeezing the legs together and pushing the feet and hands away from each other as far as they can go. After those 3 breaths, you're going to bring those arms right back over your chest. Bring the arms all the way down to your side, and let's go right into a crossover stretch. You're going to bend both knees, keeping the feet together, keeping the knees together. When the knees bend, you're going to take your right leg and cross it over your left, keeping your knees very close together. From here, using your right leg as a lever, you're going to pull down to the right side of your body. When you pull down to the right side, you'll get a little stretch right at that left hip. Take your left arm, reach it all the way up in the air, and then all the way back behind you. This should be a gentle stretch on the left side of the body, very little more than that. Take 1 or 2 nice big deep breaths in this position. After you've exhaled, bring that left arm right back down, and let's switch legs into the other side here. So untangle your legs, cross the left leg over the right this time, and again, using the top leg as the lever, you're going to pull down. Feeling that stretch go right into the right hip, you're going to take that right arm, bring it all the way back behind you. Sometimes in this position, it's a little bit easier just to trace that thumb all the way back as you bring the right arm back. Both of them are fine. After 1 or 2 deep breaths in this position, you're going to go ahead and bring the arm back, untangle your hips, bring the feet straight out in front of you, and let's go right back into the anchored bridge. Feet together, knees squeezing, with a few inches of knee bend. Very little knee bend. It's not a typical bridge. From this position, the palms are pressing into the ground and the chest is expanding as big as possible before the hips come up. Pressing the palms into the ground, press the heels into the ground, lift the hips up as high as you can comfortably. No pinching, no pain. Squeeze the knees. Take a big deep breath, and we'll add 1 layer in this one, which is just bringing the arms up off the ground without your hips changing position. From here, give me 1 very forceful deep breath with the entire back of your body engaged. Squeeze the knees, press the heels tight into the ground. Slowly bring those arms back down by your hips. As soon as the arms touch the ground, bring the hips down. As soon as the hips touch the ground, straighten the legs. Let's go right into another supine decompression. Squeeze the knees. Go ahead and dorsiflex the ankles, pulling them towards the shin. Keep everything squeezing together tight as you lift the arms straight up over your chest. Press the fingertips together. Bring the arms straight back behind you, not letting the shoulders relax. You're squeezing pretty hard at the hands as you pull back. Squeeze the knees a little bit tighter than you did last time. Really tight. You should be shaking a little bit from the knee squeeze. Let's go 3 more very forceful deep breaths. This time, think of widening the rib cage as you breathe in. Keep on lengthening as much as possible. The hips are really tight. The feet are pushing away from the hands are pulling away from the feet, and you're just staying as long as you can for 1 more breath. Bring the arms slowly back up over your chest. You can relax the arms down, bend both knees, and we're going to go right back into a crossover for the last one. So let's go right leg over the left first. Knees very close together. This time on the bottom foot, I want you to internally rotate that foot just a little bit, just a little internal rotation on the bottom foot. Using that right leg as a lever, pull down to the right side. Feel that stretch go into the left hip, maybe a little bit above the hip, a little bit below the hip. Both of those are fine. Take the left arm, reach it all the way up in the air and then all the way back behind you, lengthening the left side of the torso as much as you're able to during this stretch. Just give me a couple big deep breaths in this position and really lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. This is one of the least active stretches we have, but it's just as important as the others and it really facilitates all of the other stretches that we do. From this position, bring that left arm back, untangle the hips, let's go right into the right side. So the left foot is going to cross over the right, knees close together, left leg pulls down to the left side of the body, stretching the right hip. As soon as you feel that stretch go into the right hip, take that right arm, reach it straight up in the air. As you're reaching, picture the torso, the rib cage and the pelvis on that right side expanding a little bit. Get into that stretch just a little bit more for a couple of breaths. Go just a little tighter into it. After the next breath, go ahead and bring your feet back to the center, untangle your legs. Go ahead and relax. Nice work.